Alright, hello. This is my second official vlog for YouTube, and I don't know what I'm doing here. So, as for where I am in a local con. It happens in Rosemont every year. Pretty much that's where all the cons happen, all the local ones. Either in Rosemont or Chicago. Sorry, my I'm a little shaky here. I'm trying to adjust my selfie stick. I know I have a selfie stick. I'm stooping to that level. But it's a nice selfie stick. So, I am here at a local con in Rosemont called MFF 2017 or Midwest Furfest, which is the local furry convention that takes place every year. I believe the date on this thing changed twice since I've known of its existence. And yeah, I'm here just cause. You know, I'm not a furry. I personally don't believe I am. You know, I support the fandom. I have no problem with it. They don't bother me. I have a couple friends that are furries. But yeah, I'm here. Now, as for why I'm here, this is, you know, going to cons for me, this is my vacation time. So, for work, I work 50 hours a week. I know for a lot of people, there's, you know, they work a lot longer than that. I work in retail at a home improvement store, so it's very labor intensive, and I'm like the only person in my department that knows actually how to use power tools outside of the hardware department. I actually work in paint and grocery, so I work manager hours, about 50 hours a week, and I don't use my vacation days. But I conveniently had this weekend off, and the con was taking place, so I'm here. Yeah, I'm here at Midwest Furfest. I am very tired. My whole body is sore, and I just want to say it's not that bad. I did have different expectations. It is weirder than what I expected, but at the same time, it's rather fascinating. And especially with, you know, the outfits, these very complicated, very complex and articulate outfits with 7 colors or so, just, you know, and they have to, if you're not dyeing it, apparently you have to actually sew in those colored patches, those different colored patches, and a lot of them do it by hand because it's hard to do certain shapes with a sewing machine. Yeah, I appreciate the artisticness of this con and what these guys do, but, you know, some of the stuff that they do, you know, I'm not liking it. Especially, you know, all the dirty stuff. The dealer's den just closed. I only got to be in there for a short time because I got here really, really late. They closed at 6, which is actually kind of early for a con. ASIN, they do close their dealer den at 6 now, but they used to do it for much later. These guys, you know, the thing closed at 6, so I didn't get to look at it very much. I didn't buy anything, even though I was looking for some kind of souvenir. But I guess this will be my souvenir. Oh, this is. Here it is. My registration badge. Here's my Japanese name. But yeah, I'm just chilling right now. I'm getting some water. I'm sitting on a bench. I'll walk around a little bit and get a good view. I already have some footage that will be in this vlog. Well, not in this vlog, but a future video that'll come after when I break down the event. But yeah, it happens the good thing is it happens in an area that I'm familiar with. So it's the Hyatt in Rosemont, which is where, like I said, Anime Central and Midwest and a few other cons take place. So I'm familiar with the whole layout, I'm familiar with the space. Just the location of some of the things that they have is different from what I'm familiar with. Such as their dealer's den, because usually, you know, when the people are doing sales, you know, the market or the market area is usually in a bigger area of the main convention hall. This was in a small area that during ASIN or Midwest is where they have panels. So the dealer den was actually located in a room and was in combination with another room where Crispin Freeman actually had his own panel. So it was only about the size of one of those rooms. It's like the ballroom area, just, you know, fully opened up. So it wasn't that big. It's a little bit bigger than Midwest. I want to say maybe a little bit smaller because I think Midwest was actually in the actual bigger halls, so this one wasn't. So it's just a little bit smaller than Midwest. I mean Midwest. It's very colorful here. Lots of smiling faces, even though they're not real faces. Lots of smiling faces, and I'll probably look around a little bit more, meet a few people, probably ask a few questions. I know there's a few furry YouTubers here. I recently watched a few of them because for a while I watched a lot of Furry Cringe, and I got suggested a couple YouTube videos of actual furry tubers. So I recognize some of them. There's a couple here. I might go and meet some of them and maybe chat with them a little bit. So I'm gonna go walk around and get you guys some footage so that you can kind of share the experience with me, the weirdness of Midwest Furfest. And until that time, I'm going to end this short vlog and hope to see you guys in future videos. Thanks, bye-bye. So, originally was going to end the vlog there when I was sitting down chatting, but there's still too much to do, too much to talk about. God, the lighting here is just so bad. Okay, this is a little bit better. You can see my face. I'm just outside smoking. This is a cigar, by the way, for those of you. I don't actually smoke cigarettes, and this only happens maybe once a month. They're Swisher Sweets, by the way. I think these are strawberry flavored. Actually, no, they're just regular flavored. My favorite flavor is strawberry, but I can't find them anymore. Kind of makes me sad, because this is like my kind of like more guilty pleasure. Every once in a while I like the smoke and I like the flavor of them. Not the smoke itself, but the flavor of the stick. So a lot of times I won't even smoke it. So, I'm here, outside in the smoking area. I'm kind of in my own little area right now. On the other side of this big whole pillar, on the other side of that is the Hyatt. And that's where pretty much where the whole event has now migrated into, because the dealer's den has closed. I think there's a few more panels going on. Some guys have some panels, like a YouTube panel or something like that. There we go. So, some things are still going on. Looks like they're doing some catering. So, we'll talk about the dealer's den real quick. I was only there briefly. And I didn't spend a lot of time there, mostly because my brother called. Now he knows I'm here. He is less interested about the furry convention. I'm just a little fascinated with it, like the community mostly, and the culture. Not so much. Not really part of it. I respect them. I appreciate them. I appreciate mostly the artistic side of it. The art. A lot of them are really good artists, especially the Chinese. Really, really great on color. The Japanese, everything looks like anime. Americans, of course, some of them are really good. Have some very different styles, very realistic, styles, lots of CGI art. The Asian artists, I think, are the best with colors. Especially when it comes to this community. The costumes, on the other hand, I find, they can be really, really cool, really, really strange. I've seen just a few strange ones, but I've seen a lot of really cool ones. Like that Chinese dragon with LED eyes. I thought was awesome. And I believe, that costume, it made that guy 8 feet tall. So, that was really cool. I did see another YouTuber here, like a fur tuber, so I want to go meet him, possibly, talk with him a little bit, and probably venture around the Hyatt a little more, mingle a little bit. I do want to talk to a few people, look at a few costumes, get some more footage, and we'll see how that goes. So far, so good. It is very strange. Back to the dealer den. I didn't buy anything there. I did pick up a few business cards for some artists and stuff like that. There are a lot of them do some one's a freelance, kind of like a concept artist, so they'll do other things. So I picked up their card. I didn't pick up anybody whose cards, it's mostly they do porn and stuff like that. So I actually recognized a couple of these guys. There's a guy who did a comic book that I've actually read with a friend of mine. We didn't finish it because of certain things, of course. Now that's a story for another time. I'll tell you guys about that. The time I read three or four furry comics one night with my friend. We drank a lot, but we were planning on this. It was kind of a you do this for me, you have to do this, and you have to do this, and something like that. So we were going to go celebrate something, and I said, hey, I got my friend gave me some comics. You want to read them? They're digital comics, not physical comics. I wouldn't spend money on something like that. It's too much for me. But yeah, one of them was 100 pages, and that one was the craziest one, and then one of them was like really, really gross. But I found one of the guys who actually did the comic. He was here, he was present. Now, can I get the flame ignited again? I chose not to film too much directly on people's faces during when I was walking through the dealer's den, because a lot of people who don't want their face being shown too much to the world, I respect that. Because a lot of these guys, I've never seen their faces before. They don't post them anywhere. So I know it's getting a little crazy because people are drunk and high, as in all cons. But I didn't record some of these people's faces just because of my respect for their privacy. They have the right to stay hidden. I'm not going to tarnish their reputation because a lot of people they're hidden. They're not showing this to the world. They're not openly expressing their fandom. So I'm not going to record other people's faces if they don't want to. And unless I know they're okay with it, I won't do it. Period. So. Yeah, I saw a lot of people there. They were in person selling their own stuff. But when I see the person's face behind the work that they do, it does kind of make you judge them a little bit. And that's one of the biggest concerns with their community, I guess. Is they don't like. That's why a lot of them are hidden, because they don't want to be judged. Being a part of certain things, but. These guys are actually part of that one thing that other people don't want to be associated with. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to record their faces. And but when I see their face, I can't help but judge. That's my thing. I'm trying my best not to be a judgmental person just in general, but I can't help it sometimes. But I'm not negatively judging them. I'm not gonna one day meet this person and say hello, nice to meet you, how do you do? I see what you're doing. Whatever, it's your thing. I won't kind of treat them differently. I guess is what I would say. I'm not going to do anything like that to them, even though they are part of this fandom and they are part of the dark side that a lot of people don't want to be associated with. I won't judge them for it, unless they're being really weird about it, especially if they're doing it directly to me. Other than that, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to say anything. That's their thing, and that's fine with me. If they want to keep that separate, perfectly good. I will probably one day meet the person and say hello, nice to meet you. I'm so and so. You're so and so. I've seen your work and stuff like that, but I will not criticize or judge or do anything of the sort. I respect what they do and their life. This is how they're making money off of it, and I have no problem with that. I would only have problems with it if they're being weird about it and they're pushing something on me. That's when it's a problem. That's when it's weird. That's when it kind of would be unacceptable, and that's just on everyday regular social standings. So, not judging. Trying to enjoy myself here. It's very different. It's still, a convention where people are dressing up and acting weird. Kind of pretty much no different from an anime convention, except these guys are completely covering themselves in fur. You to the point where you can't even see them. You don't even know who it is. And of course, being very rambunctious. But that's the same with an anime convention. It's almost no different. It's just you even see furries at an anime convention. So See, similarities. But that will be a video for another time when I talk about the similarities between conventions. And I'll have a more in-depth breakdown of my time here at this con after I leave tonight. I want to say it's about 6:40 something right now. So dinner time, I'm going to see if I can scrounge up some food and possibly mingle with some people. And we'll see how that goes.